and today I'm going to share a little bit more about what I do every day for coaching and what my day looks like. I know that some of my new coaches out there, you guys wonder, what exactly should I be doing? So we know we should be doing the 3 vitals, which is being proof of the product and inviting and personal development. And so I don't really include my workout and drinking my shake as a part of my power hour technically, but it happens every day and I share about that every day. So posting is a part of my business hours. Speaking of business hours, set business hours. For me, it's from 5 to 7 a.m. and in there I'm doing my workout and I am doing my power hour that morning. So I'll break down my power hour here in a minute, but whatever power hour you decide, stick with it and use what works for you. But it's all going to be generally the same things, same business building activities you're going to be doing. So my business hours 5 to 7, and then after the older 2 go to school, it's usually about between 9:30 and 10:30. I'm getting on and I'm answering messages. I'm checking into my groups. I'm doing creating groups. I'm scheduling posts on Postcron to go into my groups. That morning hour is just kind of random stuff, checking messages, messaging people, and whatnot. It's not as focused as my power hour in the morning, but I still take that time to get on the computer. And then after my baby goes to bed, so from 1 to 3 is a solid working time for me. And during that time, I'm checking messages again, checking into groups again, and also it just depends on the day, but right today, I'm recreating my new coach email and that kind of package that goes with my new coaches. So I have projects that I'm working on, and just remember that all these things I'm working on, I'll post in our tribe page so that you can take them and duplicate them to your teams as well. And that's the glory of this business. It's all about duplication and not reinventing the wheel. And so I'm tweaking mine just because it's not working so much for me, so I'm tweaking it, and that's okay. So then 1 to 3, so at 3 o'clock, usually afternoon, I drink my shake, and that's part of my 3 vitals. And then in the evening, it's usually after the kids go to bed. Every now and then I'll hop on and answer messages in between. And that's just me. I'm not saying do it. I'm just saying that's me. I get on and I answer messages. But from about 7, depending on when the kids go to bed, 7 or 8, until 10 o'clock, I'm usually working. And again, that's working on projects, answering messages, talking to people. The majority of what I do is talking to people and finding their goals and forming with them. And remember, forming means find out about their family, occupation, recreation, and then share a message. And a lot of my conversations turn into invites at this point. I'm just getting used to it, so I turn almost every one of them around into an invitation, whether it's to coaching or to a challenge group. And then at 10 o'clock, by then I'm tired because I get up at 5. So I start over. Personal development has been coming in the mornings with my workouts. I just listen to an audio through YouTube, an audiobook. And if I can't do that, then I do have books I've checked out from the library. And that's usually just scattered throughout the day whenever I have time to sit down and read. So I do all my 3 vitals every day. I am proof the product worked because I'm posting 3 to 5 times a day, and my posts usually come first thing in the morning after my workout, and then around that 10 o'clock time when I get on the computer, I'm posting. At lunch, I'm posting, or at 1 o'clock when I get on the computer, technically after nap or during nap time. And then every now and then I'll throw out a post mid-afternoon and almost always in the evening. And it's between 6:30 and 7. So I have my mindset on what I'm going to post that evening and make sure I have that prepped and ready so I'm not on the computer during dinner or on my phone during dinner, because that doesn't work. Stresses everybody out. So my challenge for you is to set business hours and stick to them, because as you start to build your teams, you want them to know that you're not working 24/7 and you don't expect them to, and they shouldn't expect you to. Okay, let me break down that power hour. So from 6 to 7 o'clock is really hardcore focused. And within there, I'm adding 3 to 5 people to my network. So I'm finding friends of friends that I have things in common or look to have in common with, people maybe that are from my hometown. I send out friend requests. I don't always get those accepted, so every day I'm sending more out. And as they accept them, I follow up and be like, hey, thanks for accepting my friend request. I noticed that we're both from Modesto. Do you know the Howders? That's my maiden name. That's an example. I follow up and say thanks. And then try to form with them right there, or say, hey, thanks for accepting. I'll see you around Facebook, and move on, and then make a note to go back and form with them. Okay, I go through my lists and I send hey girl messages. And so this is just forming, and at least 5 to 10 that I throw out and form with. And I just find out how they're doing. What's up? What's new? Tell me how your trip was. I know you left for Jamaica the other day. I don't know. So just forming messages, 5 to 10. And then I follow up. So I always go to my planner, and after I've talked to someone and they've maybe told me not now or whatever, or I haven't gotten through to them, I always write down them in my planner a few days later that I'm going to follow up with them. So I check my planner for the day and see who I have to follow up with, make sure I grab those people, but also I have an ongoing list of people who have shown interest in the past. I have them as my 10 play for each month. That 10 sometimes becomes 20. So I make sure that I am forming and following up with all those people in that list, all the people I've marked down to follow up with. And then moving on. So, hey, just following up with you. I know last month you're interested in losing weight. I wanted to know if you wanted me to save you a spot in this month's challenge. It starts on Monday and I have 2 spots left. Are you interested? Okay, then during that power hour, I'm also crafting a post, and it's fitness related. Remember with posting that you want to condense it into the 3 to 5 topics. Always touch on fitness somewhat way with motivation, inspiration, and nutrition, whether you're sharing a recipe, sharing your Shakeology, how Shakeology has helped you, or an ingredient in there that is working for you, whatever it is. So fitness, nutrition, I do family, I do faith, I do fun, and sometimes just throw something random in there. Just make sure it's engaging or entertaining or educational. Make sure you're adding value in your posting. All right. Another thing that I do is I work from a list. So at the beginning of the month, I write down 100 names of people I'm going to reach out to and eventually turn into invitations throughout the month. I find working from a list is so much more effective. Instead of browsing my friends list, I have a solid list, a check. I'm a checklist person. Okay. And so I'm keeping track of those who say no, those who say maybe, those who don't answer, and I still follow up with them, in a few days and sometimes next month, whatever. So working from that list. So I've taken those lists and I make sure that I'm checking off that list. I check in with my groups. I make sure that my posts that were scheduled got posted to the groups, and I check in to see if there's any notifications and make sure everything's clear. If I need to participate, I throw in my workout to show my proof there and participation in the groups. And this kind of thing is I check notifications throughout the day during each of my hours. If anyone posts in the group, make sure I'm liking and commenting on their posts. Make sure that I go into the online office. I'm checking breaking news, see if there's upcoming events, schedule those into my calendar. I'm checking for new customers back there, especially new leads. When you hit Success Club 5, you get free leads. When you hit Success Club 10, you get the paid leads. I'm always emailing my new leads. Hey, welcome to Team Beachbody. I have an email that I send out, and I just switch out the name. That's all I do, copy paste. So I'll share that with you so you can share that with your leads and use that. And then I don't always get responses from my leads, but I've gotten a few and they become customers. So make sure you always check your online office for new customers, new leads, and especially checking your downline to make sure that no one's going inactive. Maybe they are not aware of that. So you just keep on top of things back there. And once you reach Emerald and Diamond, you need to be back there every day, especially as you're building your team. All right. So, next one. Going to people specifically, I tend to target the people on my 10 and playlist for the month that I'm focusing on. I go to their wall. I like the first three of their posts and comment on one of them. So I'm engaging because I don't have my newsfeed up. I've turned that off on the Chrome so I don't get caught scrolling and wasting time. So I have to physically go into people's walls and like and comment on their posts and be engaged with them because they've engaged with me. Okie dokie. Sorry, I'm scrolling through my Power Hour because it's on the computer and I don't have it printed out, which I highly recommend printing it out so you have it right there. Just make sure every day you're doing the 3 vitals, especially personal development, whether you fit that in audio during your workout or in a book or something later on. Make sure it's scheduled. If you have to schedule it, make sure you're doing it every day. And make sure you have a time for your Power Hour. Schedule that Power Hour. Mine's in the morning, 6 to 7, but I still do some of these things throughout the rest of the day, whether I'm duplicating them or I haven't gotten to them in the morning. You could do 3 Power Hours a day and be super effective with your time. Just think, is this building my business or is this wasting my time? Scrolling is not a business building activity, I'll tell you. I know some coaches do it because they want to catch people. For example, if they see someone posting about fitness, those are the kind of people they want to target. But I just don't feel like it's worth my time to scroll so much. So I just go through my Facebook list, I go through my contact list and make sure I'm reaching out to everyone. Here's a bonus. Setting goals, of course. So every morning during Power Hour, saying these positive affirmations. I am a diamond coach by March 1st. Or sorry, 1-star diamond. I'm already diamond. So having your goals with your deadline written out and saying those as a part of your Power Hour. I will hit Success Club 10 by the 15th, Success Club 5 in my husband's account by the 27th. And I've reached both those goals. Today was the day. So I will save $1,000 in the Beachbody account and pay off the credit card by Summit. So that's financial goals that we have for our family. But looking at those every day, saying them every day, knowing that they will happen. I believe in positive affirmations. So that's part of my Power Hour. I recommend sending audio messaging on your Facebook when you're sending Hey Girl messages at the beginning. I love audio. People can hear the inflection in your voice and your passion and makes it more personal. Okay, that is all for my Power Hour basically. And then I told you my business hours. So that's what my day looks like. I do put in 4 to 6 hours a day at this point. We call this a Power Hour because technically you could build this business in just 1 hour a day. Just depends on the time that you have and the effort you want to put in. And so if you did anything, do a Power Hour. And I've given you a few examples in your welcome email. If you can't find that, let me know and I will get you the link to that so you can look at those examples. I will also post this one again in our tribe page so you have easy access to it. But print it out, use it as a checklist and go with it. And that's how my day looks. Like right now, it's nap time. It's 3:30. I'm past my hours because the baby's still sleeping. So technically stick to your hours. It just builds that idea for your coaches that you have certain times that you work and certain times you're not going to be available. And you don't want to be available 24/7. So make sure you lay that foundation from the beginning with your team. Okay, if you have any questions, post in our tribe page or message me. Okay, take care.